The World Cup 2022 in Qatar. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, less than 24 hours away. This is why I made this channel because I am so excited about this World Cup. I already know this is going to be a great tournament full of great players, full of great teams and passion and love. This is Miguel Lima, and we are going to predict the group stage. Let's jump right into it. All right. So in the first group of A, I do have no surprises happening on this group. Obviously, the Netherlands. I think that Netherlands right now they just have the best defense on this tournament. They arguably will have with Van Dijk leading them. I think they're just gonna have a really strong defense enough to propel them to be first on this group. And after that, you know, Qatar, it's hard to predict Qatar. Usually the hosts will do such a great job in the World Cup because they just have so much more time to prepare. They have, like, for example, in this case, Qatar, they've been together for probably 3 months, probably even longer than that. The last 6 months they've been concentrated on this tournament, studying all these teams, and this is why typically the host will have a good tournament. But I just don't think. I mean, Ecuador is just such a strong, powerful team, and then Senegal. I know it was a big blow. That Sadio Mane will not be able to be with the first couple of games with them, and I think Ecuador ultimately is going to be the one who is going to be number two. I do have Senegal number three. Unfortunately, Qatar, even though they're gonna have that big spirit and they're going to be prepared. I think it's going to show they're going to have a lot of energy. It's just not going to be enough to even be the number three on this one. And then when we have group number three, and obviously I still don't have any surprises on this one because you know England just has such a strong team. They have so much potential. They have so many players from the Premier League. There's so much talent on this team to be like they're so deep. They have like two to three guys on every single position that are just so good, and they should dominate. They should dominate. I mean, my expectations for this England team is to make it all the way to the final. And honestly, this should be a walk in the park for them. They just have too much talent. I do have one of my biggest surprises of this tournament, and I actually do have USA being the number two on this one. I just think Wales with Bale. I don't know Bale, physically how he's going to be able to lead this Wales team. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Actually, I have USA with Mackenzie, Diego Reina, Pulisic. I think that just alone, Pulisic, it's leading this team. I love how they've been playing lately. And I just think there's something special with this USA group right now. I think it's going to be enough to get to the second stage. I think they're going to be in that fourth game. Wales is going to be pretty good, but not enough. I think they're going to be number three and around number four. All right, and then Group C, we have Argentina with La Escaloneta right now. They're just rocking and rolling, baby. Honestly, this team is just too good not to be number one. 36 undefeated games. I mean, led by Lionel Messi, all these players on these Inter Milans, on these Atletico Madrids, on these PSGs. I mean, this team is loaded. I love the defense they bring to the table. I just think that I just think they're gonna be really good. I've never seen any team play for Lionel Messi the way that this team plays for Lionel Messi. I do have him going deep. When I say deep, I mean semifinals, guys. This is gonna be a really good tournament for Argentina. And this is where I make my other surprise prediction. And when I say surprise, I say that Mexico is not going to make it. I just don't know where Tata Martino is right now with this group. They do have the talent is there. They do have a good team, led by Chucky Lozano. I mean, he's such a great player. I just don't think they have enough right now. They're not playing well. The last couple of years they haven't been able to live up to expectations. I know Mexico's expectations are high. I just don't think they're gonna have enough to be better than Polonia led by Lewandowski. I just think Lewandowski is going to be propelling this team. They have a pretty well-rounded team on this one, and I just think they're just going to be a little bit better and more cohesive than Mexico is going to be on this tournament. And I actually have Mexico not qualifying for the first time since 1994, which is kind of a big deal, but I think it'll happen. Now we have Group D. I mean, France is just so strong not to top this group. France is one of the favorites on this group, and I think it's gonna show. I think they're not gonna be as good as the last World Cup because they don't have Kante, they don't have Pogba. They do have a little bit of a transition with Rabiot and Camavinga. They're gonna have to step up on these roles, and they're gonna have to bring that mid for this France team led by Mbappe. I just think that they have such a strong team, even if they don't have even they don't have Kante and Pogba. And on this one, there is going to be a really tough nails number two on this one, and I think it's gonna be Denmark. Denmark is not even going to be close. Denmark may even Denmark may even fight for that number one spot. This is how much I think of them right now. I don't even think most people will know what this Denmark team is going to bring to the table. It may be the number one dark horse. Um, but I do have another dark horse that I think it may go deeper, so it may not even be number one, but they are just that good. I mean, Christensen and Anderson are just probably the best mids are gonna be that are gonna be on this tournament alone, just on these two guys. So I think they're gonna be really strong. And then Tunisia and Australia. I think we all know that Australia. I mean, they're pretty. They're not great. Now, this group E is very interesting to me. I do think that Spain is going to top this group. I think that Luis Enrique having a second appearance at the World Cup with this Spain club is going to be just different, and it's going to show the whole process, right, that they've been having since the 4 years ago when they went to the World Cup with Luis Enrique. Now they have two really young stars from Barcelona, which is Pedri, and they have Gavi, and obviously they have a lot of talent from Madrid and just La Liga in general. But I just think they have such a great, strong together team. This team does remind me a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit of that championship team with Iniesta and Xavi. I just think they have a pretty good team. I don't know if it's enough to win this tournament, but it certainly is enough to be the number one spot over Germany, who I just don't think much about, to be quite honest with you. I know most people are going to take them as favorites. I know a lot of people are going to think that they're going to go deep and everything. I just don't know. I just don't think they're as good as they want to be. I think they're on the decline a little bit, and they do have a young team, a lot of players from the Bayern Munich squad, but I just don't know. I'm very uncertain about this Germany team. I actually don't think they're gonna make a deep run on this World Cup. And obviously Japan has a great team, and then Costa Rica has a great team, and then Costa Rica is probably the worst team All right. So on Group F, we have Belgium topping up this group. I do think that Belgium is an interesting group, interesting team. They're not as good as people think they are. They actually have a really good team, and they haven't been able to live up to expectations. I think this tournament is when that golden group of just Lukaku, De Bruyne, Fellaini. I think that that golden group, the Courtois, they have that chip on their shoulder, and I think they want to show. I think they want to show from that one time they made it to that fourth game, and they beat in USA, and then they made it to the fifth game. So I do think that this team is going to be at this World Cup with a chip on their shoulder. Is going to be enough, certainly for the number one spot. Then the number two spot, I I was leaning towards Canada. I gotta say, a lot of people on this World Cup are gonna be surprised for Canada. I think this is going to be one of the surprises of the World Cup. They have a they have a really fast players. They have really fast group. They play downhill the whole time. That I think they score a lot of goals with Davis. He is going to be one of the top scorers in this World Cup, and that's why I have them as number two, topping Croatia, which is going to be number three. Croatia still has that core, right? That core that made that deep run in the World Cup, but that's why a lot of people are taking them as number one and number two, and I don't think they're as good as they should be. And I think Canada brings a much faster and better group together. Just a lot of people don't know them because they're in the CONCACAF. Now we have Group G. Obviously, Brazil should just run away. The same way that England is going to run away with Group B, that same expectation goes for Brazil. What else are we going to say about the pentacampeones, led by Marquinhos, Thiago Silva? They have in the midway with Casemiro. They have Neymar, Vinicius Jr. They probably this is a team that is most likely going to be having Rafinha and Gabriel de Jesus and Paleta coming off the bench, guys. I mean, this team is just loaded talent top to bottom. I think this is one of the obviously one of the favorites that everybody knows about. And then as a number two, I have my darkest horse in this tournament. It is going to be Serbia, ladies and gentlemen. This team is amazing. This team is strong. This team has a lot of defense, discipline. I really love with Chavez and Kostic, this team, what they can do. And you will find out quickly how this team is going to perform. And actually, I think that they do have a very good coach, and I think that's undervalued a lot of times. And this team, I love the way they play. And I think, as opposed to Germany and Mexico, this team actually loves the way they're playing, the way they're humming, and the way they're coming to this tournament. And I think they're gonna do great things, and you guys will find out very quickly. Now we have Uruguay on Group H topping this group. I do think that this is gonna be a close one, but right now I just think they're so much better than Portugal that I have number two. They come in with a really great group led by Verde, Araujo. I think Darwin Nunez might be one of the top scorers in this tournament as well. So I think they have such a strong defense. They're always known for that strong defense, and I think this won't be any different from in this tournament. And I think it'll be enough. It'll be enough to get to that number one spot. Portugal, I do like Portugal. I don't like their coaching. I don't like Santos. I think that he makes bad decisions. He benches players. that he shouldn't be benching. I do think that Portugal has a pretty good group. I know that they almost didn't qualify for this tournament. They should not be running away with anything right now. I do think Ghana is going to be number three, and South Korea will be number four on this one. Cristiano Ronaldo though it has a lot of problems right now to say the least, but it's still gonna be enough to make it to the next round. We should have really good matchups, guys. I mean, look, um, I know I'm not gonna spend a lot of time because I don't want this video to be half an hour, but in this first matchup here, I'm going to take the Netherlands. They're just too good. Argentina and Denmark. Oh my goodness, this is the game, guys. I mean, Argentina, too much pride, too many undefeated games. That streak continues. They're gonna be Denmark. Denmark is going to make a good run though. You guys are gonna see very quickly. England, this is an easy one for England, and then France, it's gonna be an easy one for France as well. Uh, Spain draws Canada, which is kind of favorable to be honest with you. They're gonna be the ones who are being advanced into the next round. Obviously, Brazil, Portugal. This is gonna be a great game. I love to see it. Brazil obviously going to advance, and we have Belgium, Germany. I actually think that Belgium will have a much better team right now than Germany, and I think Germany is going to be disappointed just for the second tournament in a row. Uruguay versus Serbia. This is going to be a tough one for me. I do think that Serbia is going deep, and I do have a prediction that it is my darkest horse in this league, in this tournament. I'm sorry. And for them to be able to do what I think they can do, they have to be Uruguay. They just have to be Uruguay. And now we have the Netherlands, versus Argentina, and I just think that this Argentina group is just too inspired right now. They're fighting for Messi. Everyone, the whole world wants to see Messi finally lifting the cup, and I think that's gonna be enough to get to the semifinals. And and this one is where Brazil Brazil, right? Against Spain. I mean, this is going to be a very, 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 just by looking at it here, this is going to be a super exciting World Cup, guy. This is Brazil advancing. Um, England, France, can you imagine? Oh my God, the amount of talent that's going to be on the pitch is just crazy. This is where France meets their nemesis of not repeating a World Cup tournament back to back. This is where England advances. They're just too deep, in my opinion. France has problems. Um, and then Serbia. Serbia beats Belgium. They finally calm down. They won't be in the semifinals, but I think the quarterfinals for a Belgian team, it's more than enough. Serbia, like I said, I had them. This Serbia team is Croatia of last tournament. This is how much I think of them. And then we have look at this. We have this Argentina versus Brazil. Oh my God. If this game happens, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be amazing. But I do think that last time Argentina beat Brazil, so they know how to play this particular group already. These teams know each other, and I do think that Argentina is just a little bit better and a little bit more together. This Brazil team left a couple of midfielders like Firmino, and took too many forwards. I think they're too loaded up front, but I don't think they're as clean cut, just good enough to beat Argentina, who just right now they're just rocking and rolling. They're bringing this unbeaten. streak to the World Cup. It's going to be nuts if they don't lose another game. I don't think they will. They're gonna. This is where Serbia meets their nemesis, and this is actually England going to be advancing. It's not going to be easy either, but England should be good enough to beat Serbia. And this is where we come to an end. We have Argentina and England and the final of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. This is going to be for the history books. I actually think that this Argentina group is just plain too good right now, and they're just so strong and so together. You see them training. You see them hanging around all together, having so much fun. I don't see that in any of these other teams. I just think that Argentina, it is meant to be for the world. It is meant to be for soccer. That Lionel Messi finally gets the World Cup, and I think that this is going to happen, and I can actually see here most predicted win by readers is going. Oh wow, Argentina number one, Brazil and England. So see, I must be somewhere aligned to what most people are thinking, but we will see. Most people, I would think that Brazil would have been the most voted because everyone I talked to, Brazil, Brazil, and Brazil. But I do think that Argentina may have a little bit to say about it, and we shall see.